Over the last year, we have reported diligently about the dropping attendance of the Walt Disney World Resort, something that now is borne out and freely admitted by the C-suite in the earnings calls. However, Disney World has been a source of some joy as people have been going to the VIP after-hours events that Disney has been all too happy to pump out at the Magic Kingdom. Now, however, it does appear that they have damaged those events through really major budget cuts that have harmed the experience overall. And the media, desperate to find some way to make it all be about Florida and the local governments there and the state government and DeSantis and all of that, well, they are manufacturing stories now out of the mundane. We'll show you how the stories are manipulated right now. Hello, folks, and welcome back. It is your friendly correspondent of all things Holly Weird here. And this time we are traveling to the East Coast to talk about the Walt Disney World Resort, and specifically what is going on with their after-hours events and the local government that now controls the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, in the past, of course, they have filled their gates. The turnstiles have been moving at record speed for these after-hour events, especially at the Magic Kingdom. But things, they are a-changing. And today we start off with an article by Eve Chin for USA Today. Disney Jollywood Nights is no Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So what's the difference? It goes on to say it this way: do not go to Walt Disney World's new holiday event. Wow. Wow. What a review right off the bat in the first paragraph. Do not go. You shall not pass to Walt Disney World's new holiday event, Disney Jollywood Nights, expecting Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in another setting. From theming to audience to exclusive experiences, the after-hours events are as different as the parks themselves, as I experienced on their opening nights. Jollywood Nights isn't meant to compete, it's actually meant to enhance, said Tom Vazana, Executive Creative Director for Disney Live Entertainment at Disney World. I think the same guest would like both, but there's this choice you could make now. Here to tell you, when it costs $170 per ticket to get in there, it better not just be enhancing. It better be a standalone, fantastic, phenomenal experience. It goes on to say, here's what travelers should know about the new holiday event at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Talks about the lackluster theming, talks about the lackluster entertainment, talks about all of the things that, well, if you check out YouTube channels all over the place who are covering this more in depth than we can here, people did not have a good time. The lines are poorly managed. The food is lackluster. The decor is laughable. And ultimately, this is just not a good time. Now, I did see that Kermit and Miss Piggy make a showing in their puppety forms, and that seems to be going over rather well, but not the best. Not the best. Well, let's talk about the Very Merry Christmas Party then at Walt Disney World. What's going on here? You know, people are very angry about Jollywood. So what's going on with Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? This out of wdwmagic.com. This says, Walt Disney World kicked off Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party season last night. This would have been on Thursday, November 9th at Magic Kingdom. And here are quick impressions of this year's event and what you need to know before you visit. Lower crowds. And why does this matter? Well, it matters because as Disney World has seen decreasing revenues and decreasing attendance, which is, well, frankly, a much broader representation of damage being done to the company, these after-hour events, these special ticketed events where you get to stay 4 to 6 hours after the regular guests have gone and you pay extra and all of that, well, those were doing very well, and locals were attending at a high level. Still, that was a great, great thing for Disney, making money there. If this goes away, wow, they're really hurting. And WDW Magic is reporting that on opening night. Opening night, remember, folks, lower crowds. Based on the opening night, which was sold out, crowds are similar to last year's and maybe lower. Let's ask this too. What exactly does it mean to be sold out if crowds are lower? It either means that you don't have the staff to handle larger crowds, so you have to artificially lower your capacity, or it means that you don't have the demand necessary and therefore you lower the threshold to being quote unquote sold out. And that's a PR game. Surely no company out there would have the capacity and have the demand and not let people pay them money. That would be insanity, especially as we look at these queue times. Take a look down here. Attractions all had very low wait times, under 15 minutes. Tron Light Cycle Run requires a virtual queue, which remained open for 18 minutes following its 6 p.m. start. So 15-minute maximum wait times means there's simply not enough people there for this to be considered at capacity or sold out unless it's artificially dropped. Entertainment is, well, not any different than it was the year before, so why would locals want to return to it? The guide map's better. How about that? If you're looking for that little ray of sunshine, folks, the guide map is better. Goes on to talk about the food, is pretty much the same. In short, this year's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is mostly business as usual. If you visited last year, expect much of the same. If you are new to the party or have not been for a few years, it's a great night in the park with lower waits, lots of entertainment, quality included treats, and far less crowded than we saw pre-pandemic. The big thing here, though, is that Disney has been flooded with complaints about those dream lights, the lights they used to string on the castle. Made it look beautiful, made people want to attend. Now it's just a little projection show they put on there. Snowflake JPEGs all over the castle. Can't wait to go see that. You can do that on your own home, folks. It's not hard to put a little projection of a snowflake on there. Now, it's better than that, I suppose, but not much, much better. So this is the problem for Disney. They have real issues with their after-hours events, which have been a boon to the company. And so the media is out there working very hard now. They have to present this as somehow not being Disney's fault, although I think they're getting rattled. They're realizing that the public doesn't believe that any longer. But they're still trying. They'll try it, darn it. So they are trying to, of course, blame Disney World's problems on Ron DeSantis, on Florida, on the state government, the legislature. It's just a terrible place to exist, that Sunshine State. So let's take a look at what the media is doing now in regards to the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, also known as CFTOD, the government that now controls Disney World, and how they are spinning it so that you get at least a modicum of belief that perhaps this is all the fault of those darn rascally legislators. Let's take a look at this real quick from Associated Press, which is supposed to be straight down the middle, but we know sometimes falls short of that. Morale is down and cronyism is up after DeSantis takeover of Disney World government, ex-employees say. This by Mike Schneider. And here's what he's got. Morale and trust within the Walt Disney World government. I didn't know they were a government. Has deteriorated since allies of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis took it over earlier this year. I'm getting an echo, gentlemen. According to many employees who have departed in recent months, saying the governing district has been politicized and cronyism now permeates the organization, which, by the way, is far worse than a corporation controlling its own government through means by which that was never intended. More than 40 out of the 370 employees have left the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District since it was taken over in February, raising concerns that decades of institutional knowledge is departing with them, along with a reputation for a well-run government. Jonas, I'm going to toss this to you for some math karaoke. If you want to do some math on this as well, let's see who can get this first for me, okay? Have you got your calculators ready?
Sure.
All right, here we go, folks. You at home, you can play along. What percentage is 40 of 370? Play the Jeopardy music. Here we go. 40 out of 370. What percentage is that?
10%.
Karaoke, do you agree?
9.25.
I'm pulling up a calculator and trying to cheat this.
So 40 divided by 370, it's just shy. If it was 40 out of 400, it'd be 10%. So it's a little bit more than 10%.
9.25.
Yeah.
He cheated. He had an abacus. Now, gentlemen, let me. Okay, let's go back. Okay, look at the headline here. Morale is down. Cronyism is up, and this is coming out of Associated Press, which is supposed to be neutral. I just want everyone to understand how the game is played. We explain entertainment here. We keep you ahead of the culture curve. Part of that is explaining how the media plays their game. All right, so they have had 10% turnover in 1 year, and at the same time, it's the year in which there was a total switch in government leadership, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Jonas, karaoke, Stephen, anybody on this, if your local Walmart had 10% turnover in a year, would that make news?
That's low turnover for...
No. This is devastating. They've had 10% of their workforce turned over in a year. It's terrible. The sky is falling.
Yeah. I mean, if we said 10% of management then yes, that's a big deal. Maybe, I don't know, but
it doesn't though. Look at this,
10%
40
essentially after a regime change.
Bungie got rid of more people than
Well,
that, and they did it in a week.
I think the key word in the headline is ex-employees. They're talking to the employees who did leave, that 10%. And why did they leave? Are they disgruntled? I mean, were they fired? What are the circumstances here? That you're not talking to people who are. Yeah.
Did they disagree with the political actions that have been taken in the recent months before the regime change?
It's a very specific slice of the.
All I know, gentlemen, is that the sky is falling, everything is collapsing because 10% turnover occurred in a government district at the same time that the district completely changed hands. So everyone look out. Florida probably going to float off into the ocean. The homes along every single beach will clearly be destroyed because 10% turnover. DeSantis and his Florida cronies have killed Walt Disney World. I don't know how they will ever recover from 10% turnover in a single year.
It's truly the dark times at CFTOD. Somehow they'll get through this, though, with good fiscal management. By the way, while there are layoffs going on in other sectors and lots of companies are getting rid of about 10% of their workforce, I wonder if they've adjusted for the fact that there are so many people losing, I don't know, about 10% of their workforce. And then CFTOD is only doing voluntary separations. So,
All right, folks, put a holiday bow on it. That's a wrap for today. We hope we did well with it. We hope that you consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and let us know your thoughts. What do you think about Jollywood? What do you think about Mickey's Christmas and the fact that it's either unchanged or lesser than it once was? Everything seems to be declining in quality at Disney World. Let us know how long you think people will put up with it. And how about that? The craziness of the media trying to spin what seems to be rather mundane turnover numbers, especially given what's happened, as being something as catastrophically bad. I think catastrophically bad is what Disney has been experiencing as of late. But we'll keep reporting on it, and we'll do so fairly. Calling balls and strikes. We gave Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 a glowing review. We gave Loki, the finale for Season 2, a glowing review. Turns out when Disney does fine, they get a fine response from us. It's just completely inundated with negative news. That's because Disney gives us the blues over and over. But not you, not you. We'll keep reporting on it, folks. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.